Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to the combined class of English grammar for 11th and 12th grade students. So in today's lesson we are going to learn about conjunctions. We'll first discuss what a conjunction is, and then we'll look at the four main types of conjunctions, and then how to avoid the most common mistakes the people made with them, that is how to punctuate conjunctions correctly in writing. Alright, so let's begin. As always, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below and I'll talk to you there. Okay, so first, what is a conjunction? A conjunction is actually a word that connects parts of a sentence. It can connect words or phrases or even clauses. So take a look at these examples. In number 1, when you go to London, you must try fish and chips. Fish and chips is a popular food in the UK. So here the conjunction and connects two words actually, fish and chips. And in the next sentence, my cell phone is either on the table or in the drawer. The conjunction is the combination of either or, and it connects two phrases, on the table, in the drawer. And in number 3, can you find the conjunction? The conjunction is but, and it connects two clauses actually. Clauses are just like sentences. Yasmin went to see her manager, but he wasn't in his office. So here the first clause is Yasmin went to see her manager, and the second one is he wasn't in his office. So you see here that conjunctions can connect any two parts of a sentence. Alright, so now let's talk about the different type of conjunctions in English. So conjunctions come in 4 major types. First is coordinating conjunctions. These are the words and, or, but, so, yet, for, and nor. Second is subordinating conjunctions like because, after, although, if, until, etc. Third one is correlative conjunctions. These are pair of conjunctions actually, such as either or, neither nor, not only but also, etc. So in each one you see two words that always go together. And finally we have conjunctive adverbs. These are the words like as a result, however, in addition to, and therefore. They are actually adverbs, but they act like conjunctions. Remember that. And that's they help to join parts of a sentence. Now don't be scared by all these names. These names are not important actually. What's important is knowing how to use these conjunctions correctly. Of course, conjunctions are a huge topic and there are many grammar rules relating to them. So today we'll focus on avoiding the most common type of mistakes with conjunctions, and that is punctuating them correctly in writing. And we won't be discussing correlative conjunctions because there aren't any special punctuation rules with them, but we'll be talking about the other 3. So let's start with coordinating conjunctions first. So coordinating conjunctions are probably the most commonly used type of conjunctions in English. These include the words like and, or, but, so, yet, for, nor. Now the words for and nor can be used as conjunctions, but they are not used a lot. The word for is used much more as a preposition and not as a conjunction, but the other 5 are very common. Alright, so let's talk about how to punctuate them correctly. So on the screen you see there are 4 sentences, and you'll notice that there are no commas in them. So in all 4 sentences I want you to put commas wherever necessary. For that you need to pause the video, think about your answers, play the video again and check your answers. Okay, so let's look at the answers. In the first 2 sentences, did you put a comma anywhere? Actually, you don't need any commas in these 2 sentences. That's because when a conjunction only connects 2 words or 2 phrases, we don't use commas. In number 1, the conjunction is and it connects the adjectives beautiful and spacious. So here with only 2 items, no comma. In number 2, the conjunction is or and it connects 2 noun phrases, a library and a restaurant. So again 2 items, so we don't use a comma. But in sentences 3 and 4, commas are required. When we have list of 3 or more items, we use commas to separate them. So in number 3, we need to buy sugar, butter, flour and vanilla extract for the cake. Notice that there is a conjunction and before the last item and the comma goes before the conjunction. Similarly in number 4, there is a list of 3 items, guitar, piano, violin. This time the conjunction is or, and just like in the previous example, we use commas to separate the items and last comma goes before the conjunction. Now there is another very important rule regarding coordinating conjunctions, and that is when a conjunction connects 2 independent clauses, you should always put a comma after the first clause. Remember. Take a look at these examples. Look at this sentence number 1. You see here that it has 2 parts. The first part is Abdul gifted his mother an iPad for her birthday. Now if you read this carefully, you will realize that this sentence can be a complete sentence by itself. So it's called an independent clause. The same is true for the second part as well. She loved it. This is also a complete sentence, so it's an independent clause as well. So the conjunction and connects 2 independent clauses here. So we put a comma after the first clause and before and. That's the rule, remember. So in all these examples, there are 2 independent clauses connected by a conjunction. In number 2, Kim wanted to work in Paris is the first clause, and the second clause is she couldn't find a job there. The conjunction but connects these clauses and shows contrast. That is, it shows that the clauses are opposites. In number 3, the conjunction or shows that there are 2 options. We can go to the movies, that's the first option, or we can say a first clause and the second option is we can clean the house. So number 4, imagine that we are out of town, restaurant, and you ask me, what do you want to eat? And I say, oh, I'm not very hungry. Now that's the reason. So the result is I'll just have a milkshake. Both of these are independent clauses. Finally, in number 5, you see the conjunction yet. The meaning of the sentence is that Revati is very good at programming, but still she teaches economics. So the word yet is life-saving, but still. Here the first clause is Revati is an expert at computer programming, and the second clause is she teaches economics. So in all of these sentences, we put a comma after the first clause and before the conjunctions, but you have to be careful here. Now have a look at these next 2 sentences. You see that there is no comma, and this is correct, but can you tell me why there is no comma? It's because in both of these sentences there is only 1 clause. In number 6, Mr. Burns made a bad investment and lost all his savings. Here Mr. Burns is a subject followed by 2 verb phrases. Made a bad investment is 1 verb phrase. Lost all his savings is another verb phrase. So remember the rule. If a conjunction only connects 2 words or phrases, no comma then. It's the same in number 7. The subject is I. Then there are 2 verb phrases. Ordered a t-shirt online 2 weeks ago is the first phrase, and still haven't received it is the second phrase. So no comma here as well. Alright, I hope this first type of conjunction is all clear to you now, and so in our next class, offline class, inshallah, we'll discuss the other types of conjunctions as well. Till then, Allah Hafiz.